Have you read a story in the Draoithe Saga and come away with a classic case of immersion after effect? Let me guess, there are questions which remain unanswered even as the magic expanded, adding another layer to the dream. The grand desire to turn the page to discover what happened next ended with the last leaf turned. If you're asking where the remedy for the book hangover is, you know the answer: read another story. But you aren't ready for the next tale, not yet. The dust needs to settle before you pick up the next volume. So you have found your way here. You aren't alone. Even the author can't get enough. As you hear this, Ophelia writes on. But allow me to offer you a possibility, a reflection on the tale you recently finished, and a way to revisit the story to ease the story blues. Welcome to the Draoithe Saga After Party. Warning, spoiler alerts ahead. Turn back now if you wish to read the story blind.
Welcome, deep divers. Today we're getting into something really interesting. It's a journey from this very small, very human moment out into this huge, sweeping fantasy world. We're going to see how one really heartbreaking goodbye can kind of crack open a door to a whole universe.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah. Our main text today is a piece of flash fiction. It's called The Last Train Whistle by Ophelia.
Okay.
And we're going to explore how it connects, surprisingly, to this much larger narrative, the Draoithe Saga.
Right.
So our mission really is to dig into the specifics: love, sacrifice, and how maybe even ordinary goodbyes have this hidden magic humming underneath.
That's a great angle.
So the big question is, how does a story that feels so human, so grounded in that farewell, manage to be a window into a world where myths and legends are real? Expert, what's your take? How does that connection even start?
Well, it's a fantastic question, and I think to really get it, we first need to zoom out and look at the Draoithe Saga itself.
Right.
What is a saga, traditionally? It's typically a long story, heroic stuff, usually tracking the history of a whole group of people. Think medieval prose, big dramatic histories.
Okay, yeah, and the Draoithe Saga seems to fit that mold, but with a twist, doesn't it? Right. The author calls it steamy hot and wickedly delicious.
Exactly.
A mix of paranormal romance, magical realism, urban fantasy. The description says it's a dream to live for.
It definitely sets a tone.
And what seems really central is this idea that people come to this place, Draoithe, to help fix things, to restore the magical balance of this dream.
Yeah, that's the core mission.
And they do it one couple at a time.
Yeah. Which
feels very personal, even with such a big goal.
It is. And the dream isn't just, an abstract idea. It's presented as a tangible world, a place where myths, legends, and fairy tales walk among the strange and wonderful.
Wow. Okay.
And a key mechanic seems to be characters finding balance, often through finding a life mate.
A life mate.
Right. And when that happens, it causes magic from the past to live again. So you have this blend of ancient power and, modern relationships unlocking it.
Interesting. So individual connections fuel the larger magic.
Pretty much. And it's grounded, sort of. The time frame mentioned is 0 Self-Teen X, and the main location is, surprisingly, Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas, right.
Yeah, but an eerily familiar yet magical realist version of it.
Okay.
And within this setting, there's this big conflict brewing, different magical kingdoms, including these groups called the Druid Pack, which sound like, magical clans or governing bodies. They're teaming up
to do what?
To take down this major antagonist, Keter Elliot, and ultimately restore that magical balance we talked about.
Gotcha. It sounds huge. How do you even read something that big?
Well, the author apparently helps with that. The series is compartmentalized in several mini-series for easier reading.
Ah, smart.
Yeah, and apparently cameo appearances of characters from other tales are common.
Oh, I like that.
And you get overlapping scenes, too, showing events from different characters' perspectives, so it builds this really layered world.
Makes sense for a saga. Now, just a heads up for you listening.
Yeah.
The author does put warnings out there.
Right.
Things like adult themes, fantasy violence, and explicit sexual situations. It's flagged as intended for a mature audience. So just be aware of that.
Good to know.
Okay, so we've got this massive magical backdrop, this whole dream world. Now let's zoom right back in.
Back to that train station.
Right, to the last train whistle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This poignant, intimate short story. Just Kyle and Vivian facing what the text calls the hardest goodbye of their lives. One single moment, really.
A heavy one.
Oh, yeah. And the description of the scene, it's intense. The cacophony of the train station was a cruel soundtrack. You've got announcements crackled, unintelligible and intrusive, all that noise, footsteps, luggage, and those distant train whistles that shrieked like banshees.
Wow. It really paints a picture. Almost hostile. Totally. Like the world is just indifferent or even making it worse. You know that feeling?
Yeah.
Having a really intense private moment surrounded by chaos.
Absolutely. And the characters, even in such a short piece, they feel really fleshed out. Tell us about Kyle.
Okay, Kyle. He's described as deeply rooted in his life. His love for Vivian is this quiet, profound force.
Sounds like still waters run deep.
Yeah, he's a steady and controlled emotion. His hands are gentle on hers, but his eyes, they betray a desperate longing, and his voice actually cracks.
Oh.
He's carrying this heavy thing, letting her go for her future. It's called a bittersweet selflessness.
Yeah.
Deeply protective.
And Vivian, what's her story?
Vivian, she comes across as having this quiet strength, but also bright ambition. She's wearing an emerald coat, like a splash of life in that station.
Nice detail.
But her face shows this conflict. Vulnerability battles valiantly with resolve. Her eyes are shimmering with unshed tears.
So torn.
Exactly. She's being pulled away by scholarship towards a future that's beyond his Willow Creek territory. That ambition versus love tension is just right there.
Palpable.
And then there's this exchange. It's just heartbreaking. Kyle asks, "Are you sure you have everything?"
Oh, no.
And Vivian says yes. Everything? But I mean, they both know he's her everything.
Oof. That hits hard.
It really does.
And this is where it gets interesting, right? Where the human sadness starts to connect to the bigger fantasy world you mentioned.
Yes, exactly. It's subtle, but it's there. The source mentions Kyle's internal thoughts, his longing for a mate bond.
There's that term again, life mate bond.
Right, and then these lines, like inside his head. If she were the raven that it could be, the tremor would cease.
A raven, interesting.
Or this thought. Wolves had territory to patrol. They didn't fly into the wind as ravens did.
Wolves. Okay, so he's not just some ordinary guy.
Seems not. And then this question posed in the text. Could a shiffer live without his heart after the last train whistle faded into deafening silence?
A shiffer, as in shapeshifter.
That seems to be the clear implication. Likely a wolf shifter, given the earlier thought, right?
Makes sense. So his heartbreak isn't just human heartbreak. It's tied to his actual, magical nature.
Exactly. That's the pivot. And the writing around their actual farewell, oh man, it's just so raw.
Tell us.
There's this shared knowledge between them. We knew this day would come, didn't we?
Acceptance, almost.
Yeah, but it's had acceptance. Their whole relationship had this this expiration date of autumn's end, tied to her scholarship, tied to his rooted life.
Defined by circumstances.
But they made a promise, didn't they? An unspoken, yet always agreed upon promise.
What was it?
Honest, consuming love for as long as they had.
Wow. Making the most of the time.
Exactly. And then you get inside Kyle's head again. He's debating. Could he ask her to stay? To throw away her dreams, her future for him?
The selfish thought.
Right. But he dismisses it. The thought was a selfish one. What fool caged a bird meant to soar free?
Truly selfless. Letting her go because he loves her that much?
Yeah, it really seems so. And their kiss. It's described as not of passion, but of desperation.
Ouch.
Like a silent apology for the pain, a promise of remembrance.
God, the weight in that.
And their last words, Vivian says, "I'll make you proud of me."
Oh, Vivian.
And Kyle, his voice cracked, replies, "You already have. Go chase your dream. And know you'll always have my heart."
Just, wow. That's heavy.
It is. The story ends with him standing there alone, clutching this small, smooth river stone she gave him from their first picnic.
A memento.
Yeah. And the platform just feels vast and empty. His heart, gone with the train, just leaves you with that image.
That image is powerful, and you can see how that feeling, that profound loss, but also that sacrifice, how that could resonate outwards, right? Into that bigger saga.
Absolutely.
It's like Ophelia Key is saying, see this intense human feeling, this is the stuff the magic is made of too. Letting go is a kind of magic, a necessary act maybe, for something else to begin.
That's a great way to put it.
And this short story, The Last Train Whistle, it really feels like a perfect doorway into that larger Draoithe Saga. You mentioned some other titles.
Yeah, the source lists quite a few, suggesting the scope. Things like Druid Fox, Big Bad Wolf, Vampire Knight, Crimson Dragon, Valkyrie Riders, ruler of the mind.
Okay, so definitely a wide range of paranormal creatures and themes. Druids, shifters, vampires, dragons.
Seems like it covers a lot of ground. And there's mention of a sneak peek at Heartless, too, featuring characters with claws and fangs.
Right, reinforcing that this isn't just, romance with magical elements. The paranormal is deeply woven in.
It seems so. And it's interesting, the author's involvement goes beyond just writing. Apparently, The Last Train Whistle was also made into an amateur short film. It's on YouTube.
Oh, cool. So exploring the story in different media.
Yeah, shows a real commitment to the world, I think.
Definitely.
And that extends to building a community, too. There's an invitation to join newsletter friends for updates, exclusives, free stories.
Standard author stuff, but good engagement.
Right. And even an option to subscribe to read the Draoithe Saga for extra content like AI audio, character art, lexicons, graphics, videos.
Wow, okay. So a whole immersive package for dedicated readers, trying to make the dream feel even more real.
Seems like it. Which brings us to something really curious. About the author section for Ophelia Key.
Oh, what does it say?
It's really cryptic.
Yeah.
It says, she's not who everyone thinks she is, the product of someone's imagination. She does not exist.
Whoa, okay. That's different. She does not exist.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, it could just be playful author mystique, right?
There, could be.
But connecting it back to the dream world she writes about, well, maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's a meta-commentary. If the author herself claims to be a construct, an imagination,
then maybe the dream world isn't just fiction within our reality, but potentially another layer of reality itself, blurring the lines.
Exactly. It kind of makes the invitation to escape into the dream feel a bit more literal, perhaps. It challenges our idea of where the author ends and the creation begins. It's quite clever, really.
It really is. So, wrapping things up here, what have we seen today? We started with this incredibly raw human moment in The Last Train Whistle.
Yeah, that train station scene.
And we saw how that single short story, that flash fiction, acts as this potent gateway. It opens up into the huge, magical, very emotional universe of the Draoithe Saga.
It shows how powerful short fiction can be, right? How much weight it can carry.
Totally. It reminds you that sometimes the biggest stories start with the smallest, most personal moments. These human threads woven into a much grander design, maybe a magical one.
And it definitely reinforces that idea from the source material, that a story can be more than a story. It's an experience, an invitation to step into that dream.
Absolutely. So we'll leave you with this thought to chew on. In a world like Draoithe, where people are dealing with both very human connections and these supernatural ties, these mate bonds, shifters, magic, what does it truly mean to let someone go?
Especially maybe when love itself, like the magic in their world, seems so determined to find a way to live again.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support. For more, visit opheliakey.com. Welcome to the dream. Sincerely. Okay.